Okay, we are on. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I am good. I am good. What do you think about the weather at this point? It's like weird, right?
Spring in Israel, that's what happens. It goes hot, cold, storm, dust storm, get everything dirty right before Pesach, get your windows nice and dusty, especially if you just clean them, and then move on.
No, and then it starts raining, and then everything that you just did.
Yeah. And your car. Don't clean your car until Erev Leil HaSeder, because otherwise,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, you could vacuum the inside. It doesn't really have to be dust-free in order for it to be kosher for Pesach, but you just want everything nice and sparkly.
I know.
Right? But,
Every year it gets me, because every year you think you're good, and then there's this wind storm / rain / dust / mud / whatever. Just
you'd think we'd learn. You'd think, right? Yeah, no.
Okay, we're going to start for the sake of the people that have been here on time. Thank you, people, for being here on time. So, hi, my name is Mirit Hoffman. I'm an elder law lawyer and a gerontologist, and my focus is helping mainly senior citizens to stay in control when they reach significant junctions in their lives. And this includes helping them with their estate planning, like wills, preparing and enduring power of attorneys, dealing with their trusts, and advising on estate and tax issues relating to people who have dual citizenships. And from my broad exposure with this age group, I came to realize that there are many, many important issues that need to be addressed that concern the elderly and that unfortunately are not discussed. And so for over 2 years, I've been hosting talk sessions with other professionals that work, help, advise elders on critically important issues that directly impact their life. And today we're talking to Sima Hertzfeld Navon, who is a naturopath with over 20 years of experience in her field. So thank you very, very much, Sima, for being here with us.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. And why don't you introduce yourself?
Okay, so hi. I am Sima Hertzfeld Navon. I am a naturopath, which means that I practice different branches of holistic medicine, the rounded form. So you take the person as a whole and you look at diet, you look at their activity, you look at how every different function of their body is working. So I treat with herbs, I treat with nutrition, I treat with aromatherapy. And all these different branches of holistic medicine come together as one unit. It's in a sense kind of like a general practitioner in medicine, right? You go to the specialists, but you have one person who's really overseeing the broader aspect of every single part of your medical care. So that's really where a naturopath is. It's not just a specialty, it's the broad view of everything. So That's really what I do. And I started out my journey in nutrition, right? I would work in my clinic and I realized I was changing everybody's diet. And this was 20 years ago when people didn't really know what quinoa was, right? Quinoa, they had no idea, right? And they were like, what is that? How do you make it? So then I started teaching healthy cooking classes where I would just channel everybody from my clinic into my kitchen so that I wasn't wasting time in the clinic teaching them how to cook quinoa. And then the healthy cooking classes, I had to write up the recipes. So I started writing the food and health column for Arutz Sheva, where I was writing them up anyway, so I just put them online. And then from teaching cooking, I sort of went more into detoxes, where cleansing the body, flushing the body, which I would do especially in the spring, because that's when you really want to clean out everything, including your windows, right? It's this natural urge, right? You're in rhythm with nature very much in natural medicine. And so the cleanses really happened. And then along the way, I branched off into skincare because, while in theory, everybody wants to eat healthy, in practice, it's a very, very difficult change. And I realized that by enabling people to simplify their lives with a healthy daily skincare product, I was able to help hundreds of people on a daily basis, hopefully soon thousands and then millions, right? But I was able to help so much more of a broad audience on a daily basis without it being a hardship, right? Changing your diet is a hardship, whereas changing to a skincare product that works amazing and it's healthy for you and it's really basically the same cost that you were spending anyway. So why not use something healthy? And so for no pain, you're getting so much more pleasure and health, right? Health equals pleasure, right?
Right.
So that's really where my focus is today. It's using my knowledge of herbs, aromatherapy, and putting it into skincare products. Additionally, when I mentioned I was teaching cooking from the perspective of Chinese medicine. And that's all about balance. You have the 5 flavors, right? And you use the 5 flavors to balance the 5 organs in the body. And so those same principles that I was applying in cooking and nutrition, I transferred over to skincare products. So all of my products become balancing in the sense that there are products for the inside each skincare product. I put products for the hormones, products for the digestive system, products to relax you, products to energize. So all those different ingredients which are going into the main product, right? So that's why they're so effective, because they're treating you internally, not just externally, right? And how does this translate into helping the elderly, right?
Right.
Because there are all kinds of ingredients in these products. For example, rosemary, which is an encephalytic, which means that it encourages blood flow to the brain, right? Which is why it's used to treat lice, because parasites like a stagnant condition, and rosemary encourages flow, right? So that's why it's not really the smell. They don't like what it's doing to your body, right?
I had no idea. This is really new.
Yeah. So it's true with all the different scents. I mean, but specifically rosemary, which is encouraging the blood flow. So it's not a condition that the parasites like. So the lice, they leave you. And so rosemary is also the herb that is used to treat memory. Rosemary is for memory. And so when you give a product with rosemary or to somebody who's suffering from memory issues, which is a pretty common geriatric issue. So I'm sure you know the statistics much more than I do, but I think it's like 50% of people over the age of 70, and then it goes up to 90% over the age of 90. Am I correct?
Something like that. Oh, I have to say that also people at the age of 50 and up, I'm realizing it for myself, are starting to.
Oh, that's when it starts. Dementia starts 20 years before it's diagnosed. But that's true with everything else as well, but, and we don't want to know. It's like, oh yeah, I lose my keys all the time. It's not senility happening.
Exactly. It's because I wasn't concentrating, but really if I would have concentrated on it, I would have found it, obviously.
Yeah, of course I put my coffee in the refrigerator. Like that's where I was going for the milk, but whatever, so we all have these senior moments, as we call them, which are really the beginning. But so if you start young, where you're encouraging blood flow to the brain, which is actually interesting. It's not just blood flow, it's oxygen. I'll discuss that in a minute. But so by encouraging blood flow to the brain, you're actually improving your memory. And if you're doing it with your skincare product that you're putting on all the time, great. Another way of using these oils is to burn them in the house. So you don't actually have to directly apply them to a person. Through the sense of smell, it enters and then it triggers the same effect as if you're actually applying it to your skin. So, or you could also just take it in your food, like you can make potatoes with rosemary. And it's not as strong, but it's just as effective in the sense that you are encouraging the same plants that you are putting in your food and you're putting in your skincare products, or you're burning in your house. So you have all these different ways of using the plants. Okay, but back to the blood flow and the brain and oxygen and all that stuff. So there are all these studies that are talking about how specifically menopause, right, is can be directly related to dementia. More women suffer from dementia than men, and how you could trace back the development of dementia to menopause and see how the woman's breathing during menopause. So a woman who starts snoring during menopause might be more likely to develop dementia because it's just an indication that there's less oxygen coming to the brain, right? And so if that is happening to the younger generation, the sandwich generation, this is something that you might want to address, not just because it might be annoying your partner, but because it is an indication of a significant life-changing illness, disease that might happen farther on down the line. And rosemary won't treat the snoring. There are other things that might treat the snoring, but not rosemary. If you want, we could discuss that another time, or we could discuss this now if you want to.
Let's discuss other stuff.
Okay, so, but so back to, so rosemary was one example. Other examples are anxiety, tension, you know. Sometimes you want to help somebody who's sick calm down, right? Go to sleep. So this is actually one of my favorite. So you have all these oils. You have sandalwood, you have vetiver, you have patchouli, you have, I'm looking at my toolbox over here, which is full of these little bottles of oil, you know. Right. So I'm just like getting examples of things. So all these different oils are extremely effective. They basically knock people out without any side effects, without any damage. And as opposed to any medication that you might swallow, which takes a long time to work, and then you have side effects and you wake up groggy and in a bad mood. Here you wake up after a relaxed sleep happy, because it really, it works very deeply in a healthy way to relax a person. So so those are two of the ways that you could help somebody with natural herbs, plants in different forms.
By smell, so you said smelling it, it's like putting it in some place to, like an essence sort of thing to smell. And also as you would put one of those or both of those in your creams as well?
So yes, so my morning products all have stimulants, like the rosemary, which is a stimulant, and the evening products all have relaxants. Now, again, of course, I want you to buy my products because my products are wonderful, and I'm always happy when people buy my products. But if you say, no, I don't want to buy your products, I just want to use the plants without using the products. So you buy a burner, like a tea burner, right?
Yeah.
And you put a candle underneath, you put a little bit of water in the top in the bowl, and then you add a few drops of the oil, and then it diffuses the smell, right? That's actually why it's called a diffuser. There you go. So it diffuses the smell, and then it's effective on everybody in the room. And you could put it in a room where somebody's sleeping as well, and they don't even know that it's there. I used to do it with my kids. Also, a lot of the plants have antiviral, antibacterial products, ingredients in them. So if you just burn those oils, you're keeping a house not only nice smelling, but germ-free, which is also something important. As you age, your immune system might become weaker, so strengthening the immune system through a healthy way, an effective way, and in a way nobody even knows, because most people won't go, oh, that smells bad, but people like the smell of lemon, right? Lemon is a wonderful antiviral, antibacterial ingredient. You can even make it at home. You could just squeeze a few drops of lemon. This isn't the most effective, but you could squeeze a few drops of lemon. That won't really give you anything, but the oil comes from the lemon peel. So if you prick it, like with some pin or something, or you could even burn a candle inside, like cut a lemon, scoop out the middle, and burn a candle inside, and then your house will smell beautifully like lemon, right? So again, it's a more gentle, but it's pleasant smelling, it's effective, it's very uplifting, it's an antidepressant, and it's just a nice way to just change the whole atmosphere of wherever you are.
Absolutely. So is a lemon, I just want to go back for a second. Lemon is also a calming smell, like you said the other ones were?
It's cheerful. Like you smell lemon, you want to smile, right?
Yeah, lemon is
right.
Very nice.
So
you like lemon.
It's a very cheerful smell. Also, you clean with lemon, right?
Right.
Because it's antiviral, it's antibacterial, it's antiseptic. It kills germs. Really, when you think of lemon, I think of brightening, right? It just brightens the mood, it brightens the atmosphere, and it brightens the skin as well. If you squeeze some lemon on your skin, it will get rid of sunspots, right? It bleaches, right?
Right, it bleaches.
So all these wonderful properties for regular household items. So you have that.
What else? What else would help? See, I think there's also, let's say, blood flow or circulation. What else?
Okay. Wow. So there are so many different things and so many, like, almost all of the essential oils will increase the oxygen flow. So once you're increasing the oxygen flow, you're breathing better when you're using essential oils, right? It opens up the breath. So that's increasing the oxygen that's entering your body, and that also increases the blood flow as well. It's the circulation, right? Once the lungs are open, the lungs and the heart work together, right? So by improving the oxygen flow coming into the lungs, you're also improving the circulation of the blood through the body.
Right.
If you want to lower your blood pressure, things like cinnamon are wonderful, right? And it also makes you happy. Cinnamon is a very happy herb oil. Cumin seed, black seed, nigella, right? Katzach in Hebrew, right? So that's that lowers blood pressure. It's wonderful, right? And you could use the seeds or you could use the oil. I put it in one of my night serums that lowers blood pressure. And it's very, very relaxing for people that have high blood pressure because it lowers blood pressure. And then people who are like, because their blood pressure is so high, they'll just go, right? So that's nice. Things that are stimulating, that wake you up. Juniper, for example, right? That's also one of these oils. Yeah. It just wakes you up. It stimulates. It also very much works on the lungs. So improving the lung function might also wake you up, because if you're tired because you're not breathing properly, once you start breathing properly, so then you're much more alert and awake. Other stimulants, I'm looking. Black pepper, which is really, really nice. That's an amazing stimulant for somebody whose circulation, especially people with diabetes, where the circulation isn't coming into their fingers and toes, right? One drop of black pepper diluted in a lot of oil, right? Like, be careful with the black pepper because it makes you jumpy, right? Right? Like, think about black pepper as a jumpy oil, right? So so one drop of black pepper in a hand cream could warm up your fingers and toes. It's very nice. And because you're bringing the circulation to your fingers and toes, it's an effective remedy for diabetes where the circulation isn't coming to the extremities. Anything else that you want?
No, that's extremely interesting. So basically, what you're saying, if I understand you correctly, so it's not even the diet, which some people find restricting or hard to commit to, even if they put things, smelling things or having it around the house, or using creams, facial creams, hand creams, body creams, I guess, as well, which is something that most people do as a routine, at least women do as a routine anyways. Can help them just as much, and is something that they are easier to commit to because it's sort of part of their morning schedule or night schedule or both, whatever.
Yeah, and also it becomes a habit and even looked forward to, because once you realize that it's actually making you feel better, you can't wait to use it, as opposed to like, oh, I really don't want to eat another bowl of lettuce, right? So it's like, oh, do I have to eat my lettuce? Do I have to drink that celery, juice, because it's like, it tastes disgusting, So here the opposite is like, oh my God, I'm craving that feeling that I get when I use the serum that has the ingredients that I need for me, because it makes me feel good. So it's really nice.
That's really interesting. That's really amazing.
Yeah.
Can you give us some tips that everybody could do at home? I know we're talking about a lot of different herbs and things, but can you cut it down to maybe 2 for each thing? as some sort of tip that
Okay.
you take with them?
Okay. So for the lungs, for example, right? I'm going to go through the organs because, again, I mentioned that's how I do it. So lungs are a vital part of your immune system, right? And you want to keep them phlegm-free, right? So one of the common scents that's used is eucalyptus, right? Which, again, you could take the essential oil and you could burn it in the house. You could put a drop on your pillow even if you're feeling a bit stuffy, especially spring is coming along, allergies. You want to
Right.
open up your nose. A drop on the pillow, you don't have to get fancy, that opens it up. And you could also take some eucalyptus branches, leaves, hang them in your shower, have the smell diffuse from the steam, right? And another option is pine, which is actually being used holistically to treat corona, COVID, because pine and anise are
Ah,
two plants that are used to treat. So we live in a country that has an abundance of pine trees. You can pick the pine needles, right? You can brew them in a pot on the stove and you could drink pine tea, right? That's a very simple, effective way of either preventing or helping somebody that has corona. And it could also help with the inflammation for post-corona. So even when you're after corona, if you're still suffering from some side effects, that could actually help to reduce the inflammation.
that's really interesting.
Um, so for your heart, right? You want to keep your heart calm. So, and happy. So, right, that you want a calm joyfulness, right? As opposed to, like manic, right? So, cinnamon is actually very good for the heart, and also the citrus oils. So, baking with cinnamon will give you that same calm happiness that you're looking for. And any of the citrus oils as well will also give you a brightness, right? So, lemon, orange, grapefruit, those are all mandarin, right? All of those are very simple. And you know how, like, when you peel a citrus, like the like the
Yes.
juice that comes out of it, right? The oil, right? So that oil is the healing property. And a simple way, again, to use a citrus product is to burn a candle inside it where you'll get the smell, right? Coming out. You could also press it like with any kind of needle, I don't know,
Right.
anything sharp, like roll something sharp on top of it, like a grater, like you get the lemon zest, that will also
Right.
give it to you. Or you could also get the essential oils, which is also super easy. Citrus oils are very cheap, they're,
Yeah.
like under 30, 40 shekel a bottle. And you could just, again, put a drop on your pillow, put it in a burner, a diffuser, or again, put it in any of your skincare products. However, be careful because the citrus oils are, almost all of them are phototoxic, so they should not be worn outside in the sun. So they're for nighttime use. Okay. Moving on, the liver. Wow, the liver is very complicated, and it's in charge of the free flow of energy in your body, which means that anything and everything will always affect the liver. So the most effective oil for the liver, and it's also a way to know if your liver is healthy or not, is geranium. That common geranium that's growing all over Israel, right? The one that smells nice, right? With the like very leafy leaf,
Yeah.
for lack of a better word. So,
Yeah.
so if geranium smells nice to you, you're healthier than you thought you were. If geranium doesn't smell nice to you, you should actually go get treated. So,
Wow.
yeah, yeah, because it's really it's an indication of toxins in the liver. So, and then again, there are just some people that really don't like geranium, but again, um, for the most part, people should love the smell of geranium. So, so geranium, again, you can go outside. It's the leaves that are smelly. You could take them, you could dry them, you could burn the leaves. You could buy the oil. You could use the oil in a burner in the house, on your pillow, or in a diffuser. What else treats the liver? I'm going to say chamomile, right? Again, there are many, but chamomile is one of my favorite. If you drink the tea, right? So it has a bitterness to it, right? So that bitterness is actually a very cleansing flavor. Anything that tastes bitter will have a cleansing element to it. It will have, like, for example, turnip, radish, they have sulfur in them, onion, right? Those are all highly sulfuric foods, and they detoxify the body, right? So, and chamomile as well detoxifies, and that helps the liver to function better, right? Okay, across from the liver, we have the pancreas, the spleen, which is also in charge of the sugar in the body. It plays a very important role. And in Chinese medicine, it's also responsible for your energy level, right? So I guess it would translate into the thyroid in Western medicine. So that for the spleen pancreas, in Chinese, you call it the spleen pancreas. So there, again, the citrus oils and also the cinnamon. Now, if you look at something, you have the liv. Hebrew is wonderful because it's such a language which is rich in its words, in that the words itself have so much meaning. You have the liv, right? And then you have the pancreas, which is the lavlav. It's pa'amayim lev, right? So it's the function of the heart, but double, right? So anything the heart does, the spleen, the pancreas will do even more so. So if your heart is in charge of calm joy, your pancreas, especially the sugar, which makes you go so high so quickly, right? You want to keep the pancreas calm and stable, balanced, right? So that's why the same oils that work on the heart will work on the pancreas, right? And then we have the kidneys underneath. You have the two kidneys, the right and the left kidney, right? And the kidneys are the foundation of the body, right? They're where your core is. They have all, they clean everything out before it leaves. All the fluid in your body goes through it. Any type of fluid retention is related to your kidneys. Any illness as well, which can be traced a bit to the kidneys, because they're really the root, right? Where the stability of everything. So here you have oils which would treat the water function of the body, such as cypress, which works on the lymphatics and encourages water to leave. You have celery as well, celery seed, which is very powerful, but anything that would be used to treat edema, right? Water retention, that's what you would be using. And in addition, you want to strengthen the kidneys. So there you get ginger, which you could, again, eat in your food, drink in a tea, or you could use the oil itself, which is much more powerful. The essential oils, one drop of oil has something like 2,000 servings of the plant, right? Like, yeah. That's why I like the oils, because they're quick, they're easy, very effective. Within a few seconds of smelling it, it's already working in your body. Within 2 minutes, you see a full result, as opposed to having a cup of ginger tea, where you have a cup of ginger tea a day, and slowly, after a week or two, you start feeling the effects of it. Like, you'll feel a little bit when you take it, and herbs you have to take for months before you use them. So I'm a very impatient person, and essential oils work super quickly, which is, I think, why I was drawn to them more than any other field. So back to the kidney. So you have ginger, and then also you have juniper, which also works very well on the kidneys, especially like, and there are some people that will be attracted more to ginger, some more to juniper. And panic attacks, believe it or not, are also from the kidneys. Asthma could also be from the kidneys, where it is the lungs breathing, but it's the kidneys which are holding the breath in the body and allowing it to release as well. So a balance of juniper or ginger, you'll always find one for somebody. Like, some people will be attracted to juniper, some to ginger, based on their personality types, the way their body works, so that works. Then again, you have sexual function, if you want to go into that, but you have rose for women, jasmine for men. Rose is the queen, jasmine is the king. And just to mention, there's the sandwich generation, not just the geriatrics, even though geriatrics can have fun as well, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So yeah, hopefully sex life doesn't die just when, I don't know. Let's not go there.
Let's not go there.
Let's not go there. So yeah, so that's where it's at.
That's amazing. That's really amazing. I mean, I've learned tons from this. I'm like making a mental note. Ginger, I'm going to buy ginger. I'm going to buy those oils. I actually have oils. I have a burner at home and I often use it. And it does make a real big difference in the house for uplifting. I love the lemon one and I use it often. Also orange, all the citrusy ones. So that's interesting because I didn't realize what kind of an impact it really, really has. And as you explained, it's fairly easy. Why don't you, I know that you also have why don't you talk to us a little bit about your website and your...
So I have a website where my products are open for sale, It's going through an upgrade. It should be up tomorrow, the new upgraded site, yes. And also there with product descriptions, how to choose your product, like take a quiz, that kind of thing. That's the new edition. And also a WhatsApp chat button should be hopefully up and hopefully working. If it doesn't work, you could contact me through Facebook or get my number, But my number and my email are both on the website. So yeah, so I have a line of skincare products that treat all ages, all skin types, and they're wonderful. Yeah.
They are wonderful. So you can say that they are because I use them and they are wonderful.
Well, thank you.
Okay, so you know what? I would appreciate if you could put your website, the URL as a comment on our live after it's done, so that people who want can be able to contact you.
Great, thank you.
Sure. Okay, well, you know what? It was very quick, and half an hour, boom, is finished.
Wow!
Right?
I could talk for forever, right? You get somebody on their passion,
amazing.
and they
it was super interesting. It was really great, Sima. It was really wonderful.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much. Are we still on?
Yes, we're still on. We're still on.
Okay, so last question.
Last question. Do you have any more things that you wanted me to that you want to discuss?
I'm happy to talk about anything or everything.
No, I think we're done for tonight.
Okay.
So thank you very much.
Actually, I do have one thing that I do want to add is that toxins used in skincare products, which is another reason why I do what I do, which is if you can't read it, if you can't pronounce it, you should not be putting it on your skin. The ingredients on your skin, the ingredients used in corporate skincare products are toxic. Some of them extremely toxic. That Ohio train derailment, I was reading what toxins were released into the environment. I'm going, oh, I know that. They're all used in skincare products. So if it's killing the fish and if it's killing the birds, killing the wildlife, making everybody sick, do not put that stuff on your skin. It enters your bloodstream. It enters your organs. It's a lie that it does not. It's based on false information that was fed by the corporate companies to the FDA. And the FDA said, okay, sure, we'll believe you. So just like all those other horrible things that we're seeing in the world right now that were released by pharmaceutical companies, please avoid toxins in your skincare products.
No, that's important advice, actually. That's extremely important advice. If you cannot pronounce it, you shouldn't use it. I get that.
Yeah, it's so true. Okay.
I think in general, people are more inclined to start using things that are more natural, eating naturally based, and also putting this on their face and on their body.
The exception to the rule, by the way, is parabens, which are easy to say, but you still should not be using them.
Okay. Duly noted. This is duly noted on our live Facebook sessions.
Okay. Yes. Do not use parabens ever, 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 ever.
Okay. And with that positive note, we have to end our session for tonight. So thank you very much again, Sima. It was wonderful and very, very interesting, and a lot of information that I'm definitely going to take from this conversation. I'm sure a lot of people are going to do that as well. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening up and tuning in. And I wish you a good night and continue following me. And I'll see you in my next live. Have a good night, everyone.
Thank you.